Coming up on Winning Bets, I've got some MLB and some NASCAR bets for you. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis, Winning Bets. Thanks for coming along on the Friday episode of Winning Bets as we roll on into the weekend. We're still having a good, strong week, but let's go ahead and recap yesterday before we get started into today's bets. We started off with the great cash yesterday with the Mets, Yankees, Nats, Phillies. We teased both of those games down to 7.5, and that cashed in about the fifth inning, if I recall correctly. Next game was the Padres. That was a little unfortunate. They were shut out in that game. I went and looked this morning. They'd only been shut out one other time earlier in this season. And then I looked a little step farther because we know the Padres offense is absolutely incredible. They also lead the major leagues in runs scored this season. So just a little unfortunate. It happens. Next game was the Dodgers. We got a push in that one. It's unfortunate that Cody Bellinger had a potential grand slam caught right on the warning track there, really up against the wall, so that was unfortunate. But then we finished the night strong. We got a White Sox money line to cash. You can see we had a slight damage, nothing too crazy. We went down 0.38 units, nothing too crazy. Still having a really great week here at plus 4.21 units. So let's look to keep that going on into Fridays. Really a tough slate of Major League Baseball action, to be quite honest. There's no matchup where there's a good pitcher up against a bad pitcher. There's not even really an ace going on today's entire slate. Tons of double headers, but I like the Tigers and the Twins in game one. It is one of these several double headers on today. This is the exact same pitching matchup from August 29th with Boyd and Dobnak. If you guys recall, Boyd burned us on this matchup. We took this bet on August 29th. And Boyd, had this first good game he's pitched all season long. I'm not going to rehash his numbers. You guys know it's atrocious. We've talked about him several times. We've cashed betting against Boyd several times. He just nipped us in the butt there on August 29th. I don't expect that same thing to happen again today. Two reasons why I don't expect that to happen, or a couple of reasons why, I guess. One is the Twins just saw him a week ago. I mean, we know that history says that favors the hitters when you see a pitcher for a second time around, especially within a short period of time period. So I expect the Twins to get the upper hand. Another thing I liked is Boyd faced the Twins 3 times in 2019. His first start against the Twins was pretty good. His next 2 were absolute stinkers. He's the pitcher, in those 2 games that he generally is, that his track record said he's going to give up multiple runs whenever he steps on the mound. And then the other thing I like about this is Josh Donaldson should be playing in this game today. Too early to know what the lineups are today, but he didn't play back on August 29th. I expect him in the lineup today. Look, Boyd's a left-handed pitcher. You're going to get Donaldson. You should get Sano. You should get Cruz. We haven't seen the lineup, but those are 3 powerful right-handed bats. I expect them to be in the lineup here facing Boyd. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Twins team total over 3.5. And that comes in at minus 132. It is a 7-inning game, but if this was a 9-inning game, it would be at 5.5. So, of course, the sports books have made the adjustment and gotten that down at 3.5. I like it. I like that bet. I think the Twins will get the upper hand and Boyd will regress back to who Boyd is. All right, so for our next 2 bets, let's jump on over to NASCAR. For our first one, I'm going to do Brad Keselowski over Kyle Busch, coming in at minus 115. Brad Keselowski is clearly the better driver. He's had, more consistent results this season. Kyle Busch is really having a really bad season. I mean, just listen to his interview after Daytona last weekend when the announcer was asking him, how bad are things going? Kyle Busch said, well, it's still 2020 and it sucks. I mean, that sums up his season right there. He is just not having a good season. Give me the more consistent driver in Brad Keselowski over Kyle Busch at minus 115. The next NASCAR bet I want to do, this takes us to a strategy that was profitable last season where once guys are in the playoffs, if we see there's a head-to-head matchup where a guy's in the playoff pinned up against a guy out of the playoffs, the guy in the playoffs has been more successful. There's kind of like an unwritten rule, right? We know there's unwritten rules in baseball. Well, there's an unwritten rule in NASCAR where let the guys in the playoffs go ahead and drive hard and try and finish as best as they can so they can progress in the playoffs. Guys out of the playoffs, they're still trying to win. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say they're not driving hard, but there's just that. They're not going to get up alongside of each other. No guy out of the playoffs is going to get up alongside of a guy in the playoffs and wreck him. None of that. So it definitely favors guys that are in the playoffs. So that being said, there's one head-to-head matchup that they're offering you with the guy in the playoffs versus out of the playoffs, and it's William Byron over Jimmy Johnson. I'll be taking that at minus 106. All right, guys, look for me on Twitter. Like I said, a really, really tough Major League Baseball slate. I've combed it over, but I want to keep combing it over. Look for me on Twitter. That's at Winning Bets Pod. That's at Winning Bets Pod. I may tweet out some more bets. Let's see how this game goes. But I wanted to make this video for you guys real quick because this Major League Baseball bet does involve Game 1, so it starts early today. So I wanted to go ahead and get this one out to you guys. But look for me on Twitter. I'm going to about do some more research, and we'll see if we can't get another Major League Baseball bet today and continue our good week. All right, guys. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.